Welcome to the Simply Oishi channel. I'm Yuki, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the Nerikiri dough. Nerikiri refers to a type of ogashi that's classed as the high-grade fresh confections, jonamagashi, and it serves as the main sweets, omogashi, during the tea ceremony. It's made from white bean paste and gyuhi as a binding ingredient. Higher grade nerikiri that you buy at wagashi shops may contain yamaimo in them. Yamaimo is mountain yams. It's called joyo nerikiri. But usually when we make nerikiri dough at home, the ingredients are mochi and white bean paste. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the nerikiri dough without using this gyuhi. Gyuhi is a sweet mochi that's made from sugar and Mochiko, glutinous rice flour. But I will show you a different way how to make it. And for the white bean paste, I usually buy it in kilos, so I would just separate it in like 100 or 200 grams, wrap it in the cling film, put it in a Ziploc bag, and keep it frozen. And when I want to use it, I just take it out. Same with the gyuhi. If you ever make gyuhi, you can cut it up into small pieces, put how many grams there are inside, and use it, defrost it when you keep it in the freezer, and defrost it when you want to use it. By the way, if you're using gyuhi together with the white bean paste, the ratio is usually about 10% of gyuhi against the nerikiri. It's 10% against the Shiro-an. So this Shiro-an says 200 grams. So I would use like 20 grams of the gyuhi to make the nerikiri dough. So what you need is a microwavable bowl and put 2 grams of glutinous rice flour. You don't have to be that precise, roughly about 2. Okay. And then you'd like to put about a teaspoon of water inside, just enough that you can make a paste with this Mochiko, the glutinous rice flour. So you mix it. I'm just going to take that away. Okay. If you put in too much, that isn't a big problem because all you have to do is kind of microwave a bit longer. So it doesn't, it's not critical. So you see now that the glutinous rice flour has all dissolved and made into a paste like this. Okay, now what you want to do is put 100 grams of white bean paste. Okay, so that's about 100 grams. And then you mix it with a spatula until the glutinous rice flour is all mixed into the white bean paste. Once that's mixed in, you want to just kind of spread it flat at the bottom of the bowl like this. This is to increase the surface space because we're going to microwave this to remove the moisture, and it's better that it has a bigger surface space. But don't spread it out like too thin like this. Don't make it like this, otherwise this is gonna become too dry. It's gonna dry out, so don't make it too thin. You want to spread it out like this. Okay. And then you're going to microwave. So how long you microwave will kind of depend on what how strong your microwave oven is. So it's hard to tell. My microwave oven is 600 watts, so I'm going to microwave for 1 minute. So after 1 minute, this is what it looks like. It's slightly dry on the surface, but still a bit sticky. And when you mix the dry parts with the wet parts, you can see it is still a bit creamy. And how long you microwave actually also depends on how soft your bean paste is, white bean paste is. And this is still very creamy, so it's not dough yet. So I'm gonna mix it. Okay, and then press it the bottom of the bowl again, and I'm going to microwave it a bit longer. And this kind of also depends on the the humidity you're in right now. And today it's a bit humid, so it might take longer than usual. I'm gonna put it in for another 30 seconds. And while you're waiting, you need to get 2 pieces of cloth ready. One is a hand towel because if your hand is dry, the dough is going to stick to your hand. So you always need to wipe your hand when you're working with the nerikiri dough. So you should have a very clean hand towel ready. And the other one is what we call sarashi cloth. Sarashi. It's 100% cotton lint-free cloth that we're going to knead the dough with. So it needs to be well wrung. So you want to wet it and wring it really tightly. Okay, after 30 seconds, this is what the dough looks like. It's more drier now, and the surface is dry. Let me just mix it. Okay. It looks a bit soft, but it's forming into a ball, you see. If you mix it, it should kind of form into like a dough, like this. And if you're used to making a nerikiri, it can be soft. Actually, the softer dough would like taste better. But if you're not used to handling nerikiri, if the dough is very soft, it's very hard to handle. So it might be hard to handle. So you might want to make the dough a little bit more drier when you're first starting out. This is slightly, maybe about 10 seconds more. Okay, so I've done 1 minute plus 40 seconds in total, and it looks more like a dough now. It's coming together. It's no more like creamy. It's a bit soft, but I usually make it to a little bit on the firm side. So today I'm going to do it a little bit softer than usual. Okay, but I can still, hold it and it forms a ball. If it doesn't form a ball, you need to put it back and microwave a bit longer. Okay, so see how it's like now? It's like dough ball, like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to knead this. Okay, I mean, if you don't have this sarashi cloth, you can use your spatula to knead. Okay, if you want to use your spatula, what you do is you want to kind of fold it in. It's called kikuneri. Kikuneri is like chrysanthemum, so it's like a flower. So I just kind of fold it. The folding in is very important, okay, because by folding in it gives a layer of air into the dough, and that's what makes the nerikiri dough white. So you want to remember what it looks like before you start out and after you've knitted. Okay, but normally I would knit it in this cloth. Okay. So you make it into a log shape. Okay, you take 2 corners. Let me just move this up a bit. Okay, you just take 2 corners, fold over. Okay, this is folding. Like I said, the folding part is very important. Fold over, punch down. Okay, fold over, punch down. Then you take 2 corners, fold over, punch down, fold over, punch down. Okay, so you just repeat this about 20 or 30 times until the dough has become very white. Okay, this. And after about 20 or 30 times, maybe 30 times is too much, about 20 times. After about 20 times, you see that the dough has become very white and smooth, okay? So if you tear it out, it becomes like a tip of a paintbrush, okay? If it breaks, it means, if it doesn't, stretch out, if it breaks, it means that your dough is too dry, okay? If your dough is too dry, you might want to add some water. You can use a damper cloth, okay, and put some water back in, or you can dip it in water and just try to knit it, okay? But yes, this is perfect. I see. If it's like too soft, it'll just kind of go very long and kind of sag. So this is good. It's still warm. Okay, so if you leave it like this, it's gonna dry out on the outside, and inside is still warm, and it becomes kijiyake. It means the dough is going to burn. You see, by the remaining heat, and it'll turn yellowish color. So what you need to do is you need to break it into pieces and let it cool from the inside. Okay. So you want to leave it out for a couple of minutes. Don't leave it out too long, especially during the winter when it's cold and dry, because it's going to become brittle on the outside. So you just want to leave it out for the surface to dry out and cool a bit, okay? This is just 100 grams, so I'm only going to do this once. But if you're doing it in bigger quantities, you can repeat the kneading and the tearing process a couple of times. Okay, so now it's cooler, so I'm going to take it and put it back. Okay. It needs to be somewhat dry, on the dry side, because you're going to put like food coloring inside it. That's liquid, so that will make the nerikiri dough a bit more softer. So if you start with a dough that's too soft, it's going to be super sticky when you color it. So don't, if you're, like I said, if you're like a beginner, you can make the dough a little bit on the firm side. So this is like this, but maybe it can be a bit more firmer. Okay, so once it's cool, still warm. If it's still really warm, you can just repeat this process again to cool. Okay. Normally I only do it once, okay, like this, and then just let it cool. And once it's cool, just put it together. Okay, and you see the dough is much more whiter than we started out, and it's very smooth. If you run your fingers through it, it's very smooth. So that's done. So what you will need to do once the nerikiri dough is done, you want to put it, tightly wrap it in cling film so there's no air, okay? And you can keep it in the refrigerator, but if you keep it in the refrigerator, because it has mochi inside, mochi gets hard and dry in the refrigerator. So, but it doesn't stay dry. So if you leave it out, if you take it out maybe like an hour before you want to use it, it'll become soft again. If you want to keep it for longer, you can freeze it. You can put this in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer for about up to a month. Okay. So this is freezable. Now this dough is ready to be colored and shaped. In this tutorial, I showed you how to make the nerikiri dough in the most easiest way, using just the glutinous rice flour and Shiro-an. If you'd like to learn how to make nerikiri dough the traditional way, using the pot or by making gyuhi, please request an online nerikiri dough making class with me. The link will be provided in the description below. So that's it for today. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to watch more videos on wagashi making, Japanese sweets making, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.